much. If you like gardening videos and you like the kind of content that I present, then you may want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, comment, that kind of thing. Anyway, I made a video about basic watering for outdoor plants, especially the new plants. And it's more for like beginning gardeners who are kind of doing it themselves, or they just haven't had gardens that were established yet. And it's kind of like a supplement. I realized that I had not. What I tell people when I first plant is I say water once a week for a week, and then water like not once a week, once a day, once every day for a week, and then maybe 2 times a week, and then maybe 1 time a week, and it depends on the soil. So if it's clay soil, you're gonna water less because clay holds the water in like a clay bowl would. So the more you water, the more water kind of sits there, and it takes a long time to actually go into the ground. So you would water less often in clay soil, and more often if your soil is sandy or really loose. But when I was watering, it was when I was watering my strawberry plants. The strawberry plants were they were like transplanted from a different job. The one where we got the stepping stones from. There was no way I was going to throw them away. So I gave a bunch away, and I planted a bunch as well. And I mean, they were like 2 or 3 inches tall, maybe. And then they had just little bitty roots, just tiny little roots. So as I was going around to the different strawberry plants I planted, they're just little guys. So really, literally, I was like, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. To each one of them, I was going around, and I didn't have to give them much water because they're still little. Their roots aren't very deep, and they were little. Excuse me. But then I had, did I put in lavender? Yeah, I put in lavender, and I put in some sage. And then those are like 4x4 containers. So 4-inch containers, and they're usually about 4 inches tall or 4 inches deep. So the roots are down about 4 inches, and the surface area when you plant them is about this big. So when I went to water those, and because I've done this for so long, it's like second nature, and I didn't think to translate that to what a new person should be doing for their watering. So for them, maybe I'm like, and this is with my water can, and if I tip it all the way over, this is I'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then like kind of go to the next one about the same amount of time. And I kind of count out to myself. And as I'm counting, my brain is thinking about how long it takes that water to go from the surface of the plant all the way down, trickle, 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 slowly, 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 down to the roots. The other part is that because they're already in the ground, I'm also going to water around the edges of the plant. So if this is a plant space of soil, the potting soil it came with, I'm also going to water the edges of the plant. And if we're in a more of like a droughty kind of situation, I may not even water this surface part, like where the potting soil is. I might only water around the roots, around the circumference of where I planted it, because what I want the roots to do is not stay in this little pot. I want the roots to spread out into the neighboring soil, searching for water. So that's one of the reasons you don't want to water like the stuff that's been in the ground for a while. You don't want to water that like all the time, because if it's really easy for them to find water, the roots are going to stay toward the surface. It's not going to be a big deal. They're not going to go looking for water. They're not going to go searching for it and putting deeper roots down and spreading roots out looking for water if they know you're always going to be giving them a drink like every day, every other day. They have to kind of go off and search on their own for some water, and it makes for stronger plants as well. So